show, the community one. Welcome, everybody. Please let me know. We've got somebody very, very special coming on shortly. He's talking on the front there. Let's begin there. I've got Nick Kyrgiopoulos, coach of who? Brunswick City, and Jesse Macaronis, mate. Welcome, boys. Tonight, we're not talking about the game tonight. We want to talk about you guys in the community. How long have you been here, Nick?
Dad was here from 1970. I started in 1984. So I've been here for a while. I left a few times and played in high league, but yeah, came back. So it's been a while. 1984, that's 40 years.
Mate, are you sure you're not part of the furniture at all?
No, I'm not part of the furniture, mate. Not part of the furniture at all.
Oh my
God!
God!
Helping out.
Now I just want to mention that we've got this kid over here. Did you play for Melbourne Victory at all?
A lifetime ago, yeah.
A lifetime. That's not a lifetime ago, Jesse. Speak into the microphone a bit more closer if you can.
Yeah.
So, let me just say one thing about this. You've come from here, of course. This is your club. Is this your club?
No, I'm from Perth.
He's from
From
Perth.
Perth?
Yeah.
Not Athena. What's that club there? The Greek club up
Florida Athena, no.
there? Was I right about
You
that?
were right,
Oh,
yeah.
What a intuition I've got. Let me tell you.
3 states away, but anyway.
Of course, there we go. But let me just say, Florida Athena is a community club in Perth as well. Is that right?
Yeah,
of course.
that's right. Yeah.
And you've come from there. And what's it like coming back to the community clubs as you've actually come from? What's it like coming back to community?
It's good. It's a change. It's interesting to see a lot of the people like Nick who have been here their whole life and put a lot of time and effort into the club, which is great to see.
Amazing. And of course, the passion of the community that you've compared. When you got Melbourne Victory, the screaming, the shouting, how is the difference? You're talking about the Greek community here, of course. It's very different, isn't it?
Well, it's funny because the same people are always over there cooking the souvlaki every week. They're here from midday cooking the meat for everyone to come to watch the game the night time.
So now I know exactly why you're playing here.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right? Mate, what's it like smelling it out there playing on the ground?
Well, our change room's right next door, so you're close to the level.
So, Nick, what does community mean to you? What does it mean to you? And, of course, you were at South Melbourne for a little while, and Wade is here too. But what does it mean to you to be at the club that you started as a kid and this community?
Look, for me, it's very different because we've put our heart and soul into young kids at this club, and giving back now to all junior levels, coaching at all junior levels, and now with the seniors for the last few years, it's been really good for me because you get to see the next crop of young kids that have come up from our juniors, and we're introducing to the senior squad, which is good for us. So it's starting to look like, what we were as kids. We're starting to see that in our senior development here, which is it's what we do it for. Yeah, so it's not to win titles and win prize money because it doesn't exist really in Victorian football.
Yes,
it's more about you're getting some experienced blokes like Jesse Mack coming back to clubs like this and helping young kids progress their careers. Yeah, so today we've got 2 or 3 kids that one had his debut last week in the seniors, and another 2 will have their debut today, which is fantastic for us,
So Jesse, you coming from Perth, the difference between the club there and over here, what's the difference between the 2 communities? It's hard. It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. Yeah, I think a lot of the clubs in Melbourne are very ethnic based, which at our level it is. There's a lot of ethnicity in football, which I think they've tried to stamp out in the A League, let's say. But it brings a sense of pride to the community when it's ethnically based, and a lot of Greek young kids come and play. They live in the area, they come and play here, they spend their whole life with their parents helping out and things like that, which is really good to see.
So you came from Perth to play for Melbourne Victory. You've come back to a community club. What was it like at Florida Athena? What was it like playing there? Is the community big on the game there as well?
I never played at Floreat, so my childhood, I had a few childhood clubs, but one was called Sorrento and one was called Inglewood.
Yes.
Those clubs were not so ethnically based, so it was very different to what I've experienced here in Melbourne. Where how many Greek teams are there in Melbourne? There's a lot, right? Thousands. So yeah, it's different. It's different, but Brunswick's a really good community club. It is.
And so I'll get back to Nick right now. You're playing tonight. We're not talking about the game. It's more about community. You guys in the community. So you've got all your players up there watching you. They're smiling up there. Have a look at these boys.
They're laughing, not smiling.
No, they're laughing. They're smiling at you, mate. They're seeing their coach up there, and they're happy. Is that how you're happy or what?
Yeah.
And you all get behind Nick. Come and join us. No. That's the thing. But anyway, Nick, thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
Good luck for tonight and everything. Nice meeting you there, boys. Give them a hand, please, boys. Give them a hand, come on.
In today's fast-paced business world, reliable logistics is key to success. That's where PC and FS Logistics come in. With a comprehensive range of services including air, sea and domestic transport, as well as secure warehousing, we've got your supply chain covered. From origin destination, our expert team ensures your goods are handled with care and delivered on time, every time. Do you have what it takes to become a soccer superstar? Look no further than Socceroo Academy. Led by experienced coaches, including a former Socceroo, the Academy provides world-class training to help you reach your full potential. From technical skills to tactical awareness, they'll help you develop the skills and mindset needed to succeed at the highest level. Socceroo Academy, where champions are made.
Are you looking for the perfect kit for your football club? Try Arrow Sport today. From jerseys to shorts to socks, Arrow Sport will have you completely covered. We can even cover your merchandising line, including hats, beanies, scarves, jumpers, and so much more. So if you're looking for excellent lead times, great pricing, and even better quality, try Arrow Sport today by looking at our website at arrowsport.com.au. And even better quality, try Arrow Sport today by looking at our website at arrowsport.com.au.
Looking for a haven to unwind and indulge? Look no further than Brista Cafe, nestled in the heart of Derrimut Village Shopping Centre. From decadent homemade gourmet cookies to scrumptious muffins, every bite is a delight. Everyone loves Brista Cafe, and you will too. So why wait? Visit Brista Cafe today and taste the difference for yourself.
Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called ThereIsOnlyOneFootball.com, guys. You've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone.
In today's fast-paced business world, reliable logistics is key to success. That's where PC and FS Logistics come in. With a comprehensive range of services including air, sea and domestic transport, as well as secure warehousing, we've got your supply chain covered. From origin destination, our expert team ensures your goods are handled with care and delivered on time, every time.
George, where's George Katsakis, coach of Bentley Greens tonight? Where is he? Get him there, please, come on! Of course, I've known George for a while now, so fantastic stuff. So let's get him up here. Hello, George, all right? Welcome to Football Less, of course, the community show, of course. This is live on. This is also live on YouTube right now, so you guys are watching. You can watch a replay on YouTube as well, and it's also going next week on the Aurora channel on Foxtel, all edited and put up there as well. So it'd be fantastic show for you guys to watch as well. So George, community to you has been all your life, is that right? Right through where? Fitzroy United. We're not talking about Hyder, we're talking about Fitzroy United. What a team that was.
Yeah, it's certainly been a journey in my lifetime, that's for sure. And just looking at Kenny Taylor in front of me was obviously one of the idols. I used to go watch week in, week out, and I think we obviously took off from there, and here we are today, supporting local football and community football.
That's fantastic. So, without community, what have you got?
Yeah, very true. We wholly depend on our community, and obviously the work that gets done for both female and male football, for the disabled, and for everyone that's involved in sport. It certainly always boils down to being part of the broader community, but in this case, just walking through the car park here and just watching all the juniors and all the kids playing around the arenas here, is obviously a great feeling to be part of.
And you've actually now gone so far to the Greens, of course, Bentley Greens. You're the coach here right now. You're looking quite pretty high up at the moment on the ladder. You've done quite well this year, so it's a credit to you getting back to after what happened last year, of course. It's amazing you're back in the game because we want to see the best coaches in the community who've been brought up in the community, and that's what we're after too, is basically getting everyone to be coaches in the community. So how did you get involved originally as a coach? How did you get in there?
Short-lived career, I suppose.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, look, I went through quite a traumatic injury, and I could never get back playing. So obviously, the next best thing for me was coaching. Got into it at a very young age. Went through all the levels, obviously. I coached in the old industrial league, and then got myself way up to VPL and NPL. So it's been a journey.
When you said it, the industrial league, I go back to. I don't know whether you could have actually have. When you're in the industrial league, I think the club that my father took me to, the factory that my father took me was the Ford Falcons.
Yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah, I think there was a Ford Falcons, but I was a little bit more direct. I was with the ATO,
Oh,
so the taxation office.
I get what you're saying.
And funny enough, Kenny, $100 a week, cash in hand. So it was a good little job. Yeah.
No, the brown paper bags. Is that right? Oh, boy. George, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Harry.
And hopefully, guys, you can see George around the trap set coaching as well as Nick there as well. Thank you, guys. So now we're going to bring some guys up here right now that we do know quite well on the Football List show. Of course, they're on every week. Mr. Kenny Wilson and that Lone Ranger, he's here with us right now. Carlos Billigan, guys, please. Here they are. Fine, Kenny. What about you, Kenny Taylor? You can come up too if you like, no problem.
You're the expert.
He's the Victorian expert, of course. Kenny Taylor, guys, come here, please. Now, Carlos, how long have you been on that show right now?
We have been. I have had the privilege of being part of Football Less for about 4 years, Harry, and
Fantastic.
It's been an absolute privilege. But I want to thank, first of all, Brunswick City Soccer Club for allowing us to be part of history, to come to a club to do what we love, which is to talk about football and community football. So thank you to everyone involved, the ladies in the kitchen, the chefs out there cooking. Thank you to Brunswick Soccer Club for allowing us to be here tonight.
And of course, Kenny, you've been on for a while as well now. And of course, how do you feel becoming an online star of the show? Of course,
I mean, you get less for more though. No, I mean, it's gone quickly. It's been a long time, yeah.
A long time.
For 4 years. It's evolved. That's for sure.
It's evolved. Yes.
It's evolved. We're currently on the crest of a slump.
And I'll tell you what, last week's show, so far we have over 3,000 views of last week's show. Give these guys a hand, please. Over 3,000 views, and it's going up a lot more, so we're getting popular. Of course, we get sometime this gentleman here, who was actually at Fitzroy United, and at that time, what was it like at the beginning there as a community club?
It was very good. It was excellent. The club and the supporters were very good to the players coming over, and obviously the Phillips League starting in '77 was good. The National League was the first national sport, or first sport to be national, and it was certainly a journey and enjoyable. And I've said this a few times. The camaraderie with all the boys, from '77, I was there till '83, was fantastic. We had a bit of success. We probably could have got some more, but it certainly was good. And I think as I say, I go back quite regularly to the club, and I was actually there on Friday night for the Green Gully game. And again, you see people there who were there when I came '77, and obviously there's a new lot of kids coming through as well. So, but it's good, to say community things. What George just mentioned before. You come in here and you see all the young kids, boys and girls just playing, enjoying themselves, and that's what it's all about.
That's fantastic. So we're all a part of football. This is part of community football, and that's what you do on the show. And of course, George has been on a few times. We've had Nick a few times as well. And of course, you know, we're going to talk to Kenny. Now, Kenny, when did you come over here? When did you come over here and play? There's a big story about you at Sydney Olympic, is that right?
Oh, just a few big stories, but a few big stories. No, I arrived at the beginning of the NSL, in 1977, and it was a great time. I mean, it was the first, as what Kenny just said, the first true national sporting league. The teams, 16 teams, majority team. I think Moorabach went after season 1, but other than Moorabach, there was some Footscray Just, Hakoah, St George, Marconi, Wapia came in eventually. But the teams were amazing. It was great, and I was blessed to have been brought across by Sydney Olympic, and I had a wonderful 9.5 months in the Coogee Bay Hotel. It was me and Ali Jameson, who's the father of Scott Jameson, that's now coaching at Melbourne City. And I thought all my Christmases had came at once. It was a wonderful time, and we were part time, but we played on a Sunday, 3:00, and we travel everywhere. We'd leave on a Saturday, come to Heidelberg, and the camaraderie that the clubs had, like Kenny's Fitzroy team. The majority of them are all now still great friends of each other, and it was just a wonderful time. So certainly missed by me.
Just on that very quickly.
Yes.
Moorabach obviously they were actually the catalyst in Victoria to get the teams up and running. So they're the ones that actually had the meeting with the rest, and obviously with Hellas and with Fitzroy at the time, and also Footscray, JUSP. They were the catalyst, and unfortunately, because I hate to say this, but they were more of a British backed club, and unfortunately, just couldn't. And where they were situated, it's we're too far out to a certain extent. Where we all played in the kind of Fitzroy area and the South Melbourne area, so but they were the catalyst to get the thing up and going in Victoria. Yeah.
Let me get to Carlos right now, because Carlos here. These guys are flying in from Sydney, by the way. Please give them a hand. Kenny's flying in from Sydney, Carlos from Sydney as well. So they're flying in for the show. And let me say, Carlos, you've got that radio show of yours on 2RRR. It's called Planet Football. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Planet Football with a Lone Ranger, and we have been going for 15 years, and it's community radio, and we give the local clubs a presence, and that's what it's all about. Grassroots football every time, with local news, A-League news, international news, but always community radio. It's all about the grassroots.
Of course, you've been around also to the community clubs as well, the former NSL clubs as well, that you've actually seen them as well. I mean, the difference between Victoria, we always talk about it, but there's a lot of things that need to be done to get people to those games. Is that right?
Well, it is. We have to engage the community, and the challenge for many of the old clubs is to re-engage with the third and fourth generation of Greek Australians, because the older generation, who were the pioneers, are now perhaps no longer with us. So the challenge for all the clubs, the Prestons, Brunswicks, Hellas, is to reconnect with the younger generation and teach the young ones of the prior history and their achievements they had, and we all have to move forward.
That's the thing, guys. So please give them all a hand, because I'm trying to find right now if Dan Burrell is here. Is Dan Burrell here from Football Victoria? I don't think he's here right now. It's probably a little bit late. But anyway, what we're going to do right now is bring on Joe Spiteri, so you guys can actually move on a little bit, guys. Right. Of course, you're going to say something about that very shortly when we bring our special guest up. Yes, you can stay for what? Yes, yes. So we're going to bring up Joey Spiteri, guys, former Socceroo. And of course, Wade, he knows him quite well of course, we got him from the Soccer Pro Academy today. Now, Joey, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Harry.
Come to the third microphone
Thanks
there. Of course, now, Joey, a few weeks ago, I went out to your club and I just said to myself, we're going to film this commercial for you. Next week, it's going live. That commercial and everything is going live on Foxtel. There he is there, I think there he is. They just turned up. Yeah, he just turned up. We just mentioned him. Yeah. But we'll talk to you first. So, mate, your academy is very different.
Yeah, look, we do a lot of pre-team stuff, so just trying to develop all the young players before they join clubs such as Brunswick City and all the local clubs that we do. We've got our own elite teams,
yes,
where they can progress to as well, which is we play pretty much at a very high level. Our teams are actually playing at the Western United Cup tonight.
Gee, I know what you told me.
In Geelong, so it was a bit of a clash there, but yeah, we've got about 700 kids, so we're huge at the moment, and yeah, we're just trying to develop as many kids and get as many kids playing the game as we can.
When I was over there, and I filmed this stuff for you. I said, my God, these kids are so advanced. You're not talking to them like you're talking like as if they're real players. Well, this is very, very different stuff.
Well, our teams, like I said, most of our players in our team started under fives, so they've come through the normal group, so to speak, and been developing, and then as they've progressed to a higher level, we've identified that and filtered them into our elite teams, and then from there, year in, year out, we keep these players developing. So our under 12s at the moment have been with us since they were 4 or 5, so under coaching from myself, Adrian Chuggo, and we pretty much, they know what's expected, and we know what's expected of them, and we can really do a high level of training with them.
And the best thing about that was I actually saw those cups of yours, the success you've had already. My God, it's up. Next week you'll be able to see all the cups there on the commercial we've filmed. I can't believe it, in such short space of time.
Yeah, but we play we play about 50 to 70 matches each year. We participate in the Junior Academy League. We participate in the Junior Champions League. We have National Cups, which is an Australia-wide Academy Cup. We have Holiday Cups, Western United Cup. We play lots of matches throughout the year following the school term. So there's a lot of room each year for the players to develop and just to get better and better and better playing really high-level competitive football.
Got some questions for Joey Carlos?
Absolutely. It appears to me that many of the stars in the A-League have lost the art of long-range shooting. Are you teaching them how to shoot from 30 yards like Roberto Carlos?
Well, like I said, I was a striker. I love scoring goals. I try and teach them the way that I was taught and the way I played when I played overseas, when I played in Europe, when I played for Australia. I try to teach them the techniques that I've learned and how to score goals and how to finish goals. It is a bit of an art, and sometimes you're born with it, but it can be taught, and if you can keep teaching them the right way to finish, they will eventually get it.
And you also started in the community, playing in a community club. Which was your first club?
Well, I was a Green Gully junior. My father was president for a very long time there, so that's where I grew up playing a lot of my junior football. Yeah, so Green Gully was my first club, yeah.
Was Wadey there at the time?
Paul Wade was down there. We had lots of success down there in the 80s, and I grew up watching these guys winning trophy after trophy after trophies back then, and the passion for the game just grew and grew and grew.
Alice, in your academy, do you have any success stories you could share with us that we don't know of?
Well, I always claim that Jordan Boss, he came through Soccer Pro Academy when he was a youngster, and we made Jordan what he is today. At a very young age. I'm still waiting for FFA to give the percentage of the transfer fees over to Soccer Pro, but we'll talk about that another day.
I get you. So, Joey, you also played in NSL?
Yeah, I played in the old NSL, yep. I played with Parramatta Medina. I played with Melbourne Knights. We won back-to-back championships back in 95, 96, 96, 97. Went through to the Olympics, went through and played with Wadey in the national team, and went overseas, played for about 8 years over there in Austria, Belgium and Sweden, and came back and started the academy, and we've been running for about 17, 18 years now.
That is a massive credit, guys. Give me a hand. Joey, we're going to get you again on our show, of course.
Yep.
So thank you for coming and joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We just mentioned about 2 people a few minutes ago. Well, they just turned up now. Dan Burrell and of course Rosie Wall. Please come and join us up here.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Joey. Yeah, this. There he is, Dan. Thank you for joining. Now you're the interim CEO.
Thanks, Harry. I am.
Come and sit down.
This is
And that's Rosie Weil. How are you?
It is.
That's Carlos Bielli.
Hello.
And of course, now we've got Football Victoria. We'd love to work with Football Victoria as well. And of course, Dan, sad that Chris has left us, and he was here last year. What a great job he was here, coming here last year and doing. What a great interview that was with him here as well. And you were here watching as well.
I was, yeah.
Now it's your turn today.
It's my turn to step in front of the mic with Rosie and share some knowledge and stories. But yeah, I was here last year and watched, it was Caroline Springs George Cross against Brunswick City. It's a good game.
It was a great game. Carlos?
Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Now, I'm from New South Wales, so excuse my ignorance about Victorian football. But everywhere we have higher population densities, and every club, football, hockey, is competing for grass. What is the long-term solution between higher population densities and the demand for playing fields? Is it synthetic, or is it more of better grass and drainage? Because it is a problem with
the big questions, Carlos.
Yeah, we ask a hard question.
No, straight off.
If you had the magic wand.
No, if I had the magic wand, it's probably multifaceted response. I think synthetic absolutely is a 24-hour pitch, and the availability of synthetic to be played at all hours of the day is certainly part of that solution. I think, realistically speaking, within Melbourne, Victoria, or at least our metropolis, our capital cities, we really need to look at opportunities to either transition green space from underutilised sports into football, or we need to be comfortable with the fact that there is more green space the more you go out from city centres. So if we go half an hour, 45 minutes from Melbourne CBD, we'll have significantly more green space we can acquire. The other thing I think is we need clubs and councils collectively working together to actually utilise the space to the best of their ability. We have a number of clubs across Victoria who are, 2 or 3 team clubs and have full facilities that are underutilised, and we have clubs like Brunswick and others that are 15, 20, 40 to 50 teams and have 1 or 2 fields to utilise. So it's probably just a better utilisation as well. And we've started to engage. We've engaged an Inside Edge, which is a contractor, to do some work for us to do a facility strategy for the next 10 years to ensure that we're growing at the same rate as the access to facilities is. So it's a good question, Carlos, but yeah, certainly one that's Australia-wide, and it's, as crazy as it sounds, it's probably a good problem to have because our sport continues to be the highest participation sport in Australia.
I'd like to ask Rosie, now you're doing the community stuff, is that right? You're the community person, of course, doing this stuff down there at Football Victoria. Now let me just say one thing. You're not a Kiwi, are you?
Yes, I am a Kiwi actually.
I've got her.
Is that a good thing? We're
No,
happy about
fantastic. We love to see different people in this country play. And you also play for Heidelberg United.
that. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're a striker or
No, I am a centre back.
centre back? Yes.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
what does now? You're coming to Football Victoria. Community is very important at Football Victoria, of course, and the NPL and the clubs. The lower clubs are very community based, of course. What do you think of the community clubs? I'm going to ask you about some New Zealand stuff too. But let me ask you, what does it mean about community in Victoria, what you've seen?
Well, community is the grassroots. It's the grassroots everywhere. It's the reason why clubs are able to do what they do. And I think the community side of things also comes into being able to build a community in its entirety. So people are coming down and supporting the mini roos, the juniors, and also following and coming and watching the seniors. So it creates that hub in the community sense and the community feel towards a club. And it just means that everyone's going to be finding their own environment and safe and supportive place for people to come and be able to enjoy football like we all want to be doing, whether it's in a playing or supporting place. But yeah, just building those grassroots is how we're going to be able to implement football through the different levels.
And what I want to ask you now is, you coming from New Zealand, of course, we are talking about a different community in New Zealand playing the game. What is it like, the difference between Victoria and New Zealand?
Yeah, that's a hard one because coming from New Zealand, I was only a player, and now being a part of the background, I feel like I'm so intrigued to know how New Zealand go about it and how they structure their competitions and how they try and increase participation, because now I see how that all works in Victoria. I don't know the ins and outs and how it works, but in terms of the differences between competitive in terms of playing, I can talk to, because I played competitively in New Zealand as well as playing competitively here, and it's a lot more. The structure and the pathways over here is crazy. It's so good. I come here and I have so many opportunities for me to go different places and be able to work my way through different levels. Back home, we don't have as much of a pathway into national competitions, but even really progressing into that more senior style of football, I definitely think that's probably more prevalent in the women's space. We're definitely a few years behind back home in New Zealand in comparison to here. The pathways and the level and the quality is much better over here. We're definitely still getting there with things, but I can see New Zealand football is starting to implement different programs and different things to make sure that that comparison is, the difference between is a lot less, but we'll get there.
Can I, because I've never asked you this, obviously we work alongside each other, but good question before our facilities. What are the facilities you have experience in as a player? What are they like comparable to Victorian facilities? So we talked about obviously access to green space. Are they better than Victorian facilities? Like when you were playing at the level you were playing at an NZ, did you have access to change rooms? Were you playing on synthetics? Like what did that look like?
Synthetics are a lot more prevalent back home. I find that I was more often playing on synthetic than I was playing on grass. My team that I played for was the only maybe one or two good grass pitches within Wellington, which is the region that I was playing in. So synthetics are a lot more prevalent, and also we had pretty good facilities in terms of everything else. There was definitely main hubs that would host kind of National League games, but that's kind of the same as you would get everywhere. It definitely seemed as still a progressing game in terms of comparing the men and women, so it was obvious that our men's team at our club always would be getting the higher priority, but that's still definitely prevalent over here as well. So other than that, we didn't really have to fight for as much green spaces here, because a rugby ground and it's not AFL. We don't have to be fighting for ground space with other codes nearly as much.
And to tell you the truth, your ground, even using a rugby ground, looks like a real soccer pitch. Is that right, or football pitch?
Yeah, and
right over here.
We've got certain things set up back home as well, that the rugby poles actually can go into the grounds, and then you're rolling your nets over top. Yes. So there's things that are starting to come into play now to better enhance that. But again, don't know the ins and outs of how the background of New Zealand football that all works. So I would be really intrigued if I did head back home to kind of get that inner workings and how the leagues are formed and those different progressions. It's really interesting, the comparison.
Tell us.
What's a week in your life?
Here we go.
That's a great question.
He's good.
That is a good question. She's got a massive week.
No, I'm saying.
Okay.
Great question.
Besides playing, do you engage with the clubs? Do you help them with governance? What's a week in your life?
Yeah. Cool.
At grassroots level.
Yeah. This week has been crazy. We are currently getting fixtures out. I was late because I was still logged on. So I will be also going home after this and getting back into those fixturing. So we have been finalising league structures, getting fixtures released. So my week this week has been early morning and then heading to trainings in the afternoon. And seriously, that has been it. I had a Heidelberg season opener on Wednesday. So we had training Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We had our season opener, which was at Olympic Village, it was at Olympic Hotel on Wednesday night. And then leading up to both of those, I was working and then finally got a few hours sleep and straight back into it. So this week has been a little bit out of the ordinary, but 3 trainings a week. And in terms of my 9 to 5, it is office work, and we do have weekends where we do get into the community. I'm the West coordinator, so I deal with obviously all the West clubs. However, I am a local, so I do live just around the corner from here. So I am out supporting and watching football as much as I've got my partner who plays in the NPL as well. So I am very much within different facets watching football pretty much all the time.
Okay, now I want to ask Dan. Now last year, Dan, was the first time that NPL Victoria had the finals. finals down at, of course, the home of the Matildas. That was a great success. Absolutely amazing. I did a film on that, by the way. You haven't seen it.
You did. No, I saw it. I've watched some of your content before.
It was all community based.
No, it was. It was all about engaging community. It was the first time we've hosted the NPL finals there. It was a really good day. It gave us an opportunity to create an inviting environment for our community, like a boutique stadium type environment. And we, thoroughly enjoyed it. Good opportunity and good starting point for this coming season and future seasons with our Nike Cup and Doherty Cup as well also being hosted there. It's good.
And of course, I'm going to be there on Monday night to see Melbourne Victory versus Preston. Mate, I love getting in that stand. You know which stand I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes.
That beautiful building there. You can see everything right across it. The vision is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I was extremely fortunate and thankful for the support we received from both the Vic government and the Australian federal government over the last decade in getting that. For those who don't know, the Football Victoria home, the home of the Matildas, is the largest single investment in Australian football in the history of Australian football. So we're talking it's a $70 million facility. The Matildas will be out with a game against Argentina back in about 6-7 weeks. And we'll obviously be at the home of the Matildas, which is really exciting for us. But what it allows us to do, Harry, by having content such as the NPL finals, is to leverage that when we're having conversations with state and federal government about phase 2 or phase 3 of that facility. For those who have been out there's a lot of green space when we speak about green space, Carlos, that we can tap into now. And there's actually a lot of the facility behind, as you go towards the Trobes campus, that we can tap into to look at grandstands. We can put in 2 further pitches as well, potentially another synthetic, other change rooms and dressing rooms, and start to build out a really broad home of football, which would be the single largest facility in Australia.
Let me tell you, if anybody wants to get out and see something down there, Chris took me last year.
It's amazing.
And he gave me the tour.
Yep.
And I walked into that Matilda's dressing room and I said, I'm going around in a circle.
Yep.
You've seen it, Rosie?
Yeah.
I said, is it so perfectly round?
Yeah.
He showed me the pools in there, the pools of recovery. Carlos, you've got to come. We've got to do the football show down there, you know.
Absolutely.
We've got to do it down there, Dan.
Or what?
We should do it.
I'll be coming. I'll be crawling.
Yep.
Now, also, I want to give a plug to Football Victoria.
We'll take a plug.
Football Victoria, to my knowledge, was the first football association that appointed a historian.
We're the only one
to record the history of football.
I love that. We love that. Our man Tony Visoglia, we're the ones who see value, and I can see a couple of people across the room that really respect the history of not only football in Victoria, but football in Australia. So yeah, we have invested in Tony Visoglia.
That's right.
He's the only paid historian in Australian football at the moment. That's including at a national level, so feel free to have a conversation with Football Australia as well.
Well, are you going to be down there on Monday night or what?
I will be there on Monday night.
I'll be there Monday night too, doing some stuff. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Rosie. Nice meeting you guys tonight. And of course, in a couple of moments' time, we've got somebody coming up here. And don't forget that if you've got your shirts here tonight, you want some photographs. As soon as this gentleman finishes, now we got to put some music up on here, Carlos, I think.
In today's fast-paced business world, reliable logistics is key to success. That's where PC and FS Logistics come in. With a comprehensive range of services including air, sea and domestic transport, as well as secure warehousing, we've got your supply chain covered. From origin destination, our expert team ensures your goods are handled with care and delivered on time, every time. Do you have what it takes to become a soccer superstar? Look no further than Soccer Pro Academy. Led by experienced coaches, including a former Socceroo, the Academy provides world-class training to help you reach your full potential. From technical skills to tactical awareness, they'll help you develop the skills and mindset needed to succeed at the highest level. Soccer Pro Academy, where champions are made.
Are you looking for the perfect kit for your football club? Try Arrow Sport today. From jerseys to shorts to socks, Arrow Sport will have you completely covered. We can even cover your merchandising line, including hats, beanies, scarves, jumpers, and so much more. So if you're looking for excellent lead times, great pricing, and even better quality, try Arrow Sport today by looking at our website at arrowsport.com.au. And even better quality, try Arrow Sport today by looking at our website at arrowsport.com.au.
Looking for a haven to unwind and indulge? Look no further than Brista Cafe, nestled in the heart of Derrimut Village Shopping Centre. From decadent homemade gourmet cookies to scrumptious muffins, every bite is a delight. Everyone loves Brista Cafe, and you will too. So why wait? Visit Brista Cafe today and taste the difference for yourself.
Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called There Is Only One Football.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone.
In today's fast-paced business world, reliable logistics is key to success. That's where PC and FS Logistics come in. With a comprehensive range of services including air, sea and domestic transport, as well as secure warehousing, we've got your supply chain covered. From origin destination, our expert team ensures your goods are handled with care and delivered on time, every time.
I think we're going to put some music up for first. So let's see if we can get this up right now. Some gentleman walking up very shortly. So yeah, that's the thing. So let's just wait for this, hopefully. Carlos, you're going to say something about somebody here?
We want to thank Angelo Pica, who lives in Naples, Italy, for assisting us in sourcing the sponsors for this historical moment. England's loss became Australians' gain when in 1973 a young English family comes to Melbourne for a new future. 119 games for the green and gold, scoring 10 goals for Australia, captain of the Socceroos between 1990 to 1996, 346 National League games, 1995 Order of Australia medal, and also in 95 received the FIFA International Fair Play Award, and probably the only player not to win a BAFTA award for being captain Socceroo. Paul Wade!
Give me a hand, please. Come on, guys. Well, Wadey, we made it. We're here.
Thank you for that intro. Thank you. Yes.
We made it. Welcome to the football lesson, of course, Brunswick City Soccer Club. Now,
good crowd in. Great crowd.
Come on, guys, please.
Thanks for coming, guys.
And so we made it here.
Yeah.
Our sponsors, PC and F, you're going to say something about, I'll say PC and FS Logistics, WI2 Protection Services. He's outside there right now doing security for us. We thank Sam Chamasi, Soccer Pro Academy. There he is right there. Joe Spateri, C City Lawyers, the lawyers that come to you. There's only one football. And of course, Barista's here. He's here tonight, guys, too. Of course, talking, and Arrow Sports for you as well. That's it. So, Wadey, we're here. We've done it. How many weeks of phone calls? How many weeks to Louis? I made phone calls. He's probably going to hit me over the head tonight, too. The amount of phone calls, connections to get you here. How do you feel?
I think, guys, when you watch a game of football, you watch it for 90 minutes. You don't see pre-season. You don't see all the videos that they watch and the analysis of the opposition. And this has been a perfect example of that. The amount of work the sponsors do to make this happen. If you guys at home could see everything that's set up here. You were here at what time? 10 o'clock this morning?
1 p.m.
And if you've ever organised a function, you know exactly what I'm talking about. To everybody, your sponsorship, whatever, your commitment, being here, thank you.
And Carlos, have you got some questions for Wadey?
Well, do I have a question? How long do I have?
A long time.
Now, there's a lot of young kids here who want to be footballers in the future. What advice can you give these beautiful young people to follow if they wish to become good footballers, Paul?
First thing, they've got to know that they don't have to make it today. I don't know, all these people are under 8s and under 9s at SAP, and they're being told, hey, if you're not on that career path, fair chance you're going to struggle to make it. I'm glad they didn't tell me that, because the first thing I'd say to them is, I didn't play for anyone till I was 23 years of age, because I just wasn't good enough. I never went to the Institute of Sport, never played for Victoria, didn't play for any of the youth teams. It was Frank Arrock who said, I turned up to one of your games, you were playing for Brunswick, Juventus, and I wrote your name down, and I invited you into a camp, and that's why I chose you. And the other thing is, and it really gets me, the kids have got to think about their performance and not the outcome. So many of us are putting this thing on, if you're not playing for someone, if you don't win, you know, think about how you contributed to your team and how you played well as an individual. You know, go away and think about your performance, not the outcome.
Carlos?
Well, also, you have some amazing memories in your football career, but what has football taught you throughout your life that it is the number one lesson, Paul?
A couple of things. You failed. You're not a failure. Perfect. You're successful today. You're not a success. If you can keep that balance right in your life as a kid, growing up with a dream, it helps so much with your mental health and preparing for a game. You failed. Put your hand up. You failed today. It's part of life. Suck it up. And if you were successful, yeah, give yourself a massive tick. So, yeah, it's just that. Accept the fact that failure is a part of life. That's what it's taught me. As I say, never played for anyone, always given the ball away. As Joe Spiteri will testify to, my second touch was always a tackle because my first one was that bad.
Oh boy, here we go. Now,
Welcome to the real world.
Let me just say one thing about one of your famous coaches. He passed away last year, John Margaritis, and he had what a championship coach he was down at Brunswick Juventus, huh? Absolutely amazing coach.
Yep. He would not get his A license or his B license or his C license, but he had this, like Pushkas at South Melbourne, he had this ability to connect with people, just to talk to their eyes. Do you know what I mean? He didn't have to go and put banners up or anything like that. He just made your relationship very personal. He never got angry. He just made these points, very quiet, and he let us pray, gave us that license to go out there and play. And how are you going to stop somebody like Mickey P or Kombutsianis playing a rigid game? You're not.
Wasn't there, I mean, Johnny Margaritis did say to you at some stage to you there was some kind of he was very superstitious in some way about your hairstyle and your beard.
Yeah.
What was the story about that one?
They said that if I shaved that part of my beard, they'd give me $500, but if I shaved that part of my beard and that side of my head, they'd give me $2,000. Yeah, so I put it to my wife, Val, and I never did it for fear of
and actually, I saw that final.
Yes, it was a good final.
Why was there hair on one side?
Yeah.
I actually saw that final. It's amazing. So, tell us about the coaches you actually were under as well.
I've got a shirt down here. It's a Brunswick Juventus shirt, and Len McKendry was the coach, and he was probably the first one that actually put on a session that we would know today. His philosophy was, when you get that ball, you play it forward. I don't want it going that way or that way. I want that ball played forward. If you play it forward, you cut 1, 2, 3, 4 players out of the game. And what he did was he got the players up front like Andrew Zinni, Joe Sweeney. He taught them how to receive a ball. Joe, I don't know whether you were taught how to receive a ball and shield a ball, but he actually put on sessions. So he had us with a focus on playing it forward. He had them looking to receive it in the right way. Boom, we smashed teams. We didn't win the A-League, I mean the old NSL. We got beat by Footscray JUST, but we scored more goals than anyone else because we got closer more often.
And then, of course, came the time when you got asked to go to South Melbourne.
Yeah, it was a hairdresser. I don't know who his name is. He said, look, you've got a contract with Brunswick Juventus, but I had a clause in it. Paul Wade cannot be sold for more than $5,000, for example. It was because I didn't want to be freezed out of the game. So Len McKendry came in and he said, no, you're not getting that in your contract this time. And I said, well, I've had it all my career. I want it in my contract. And he said, well, you can leave. And that's why I went to South Melbourne. I didn't necessarily want to go, but as soon as he said I couldn't, I wasn't getting big money. I think I might have been getting $300 a game. So it wasn't about the money. It was that I didn't want a club to stop me moving.
Carlos?
Yes, Paul, how did international football make you a better player, and how much of a step up was domestic to international football for the Socceroos?
You always felt when you came back from a Socceroo competition or playing for the Socceroos how slow the NSL was. But it's only because playing for your national team internationally, it is so quick. You don't realise until you're out there playing how quickly they move the ball. Like we played the Brazil in the Gold Cup final.
Cup, yes.
Yeah, the bicentennial Gold Cup. We never touched the ball. I said, boys, if they don't give us a touch, we're going to put our hands on our heads. That no matter how close you got to them, bang, the ball was gone. First touch, brilliant. So it just showed me we have a long way to go from the A-League to international level. Even today, we had a long way to go from the NSL to the to international level.
You know, I'm going to get you upset here, Wadey, because I mean, you played in that Gold Cup game. He knows where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going with this. Was it really a goal?
Oh,
Please tell us.
Are we talking the offside against Argentina?
Yeah, here we go.
No, I've got some vision. Watch. I've got some vision here. I'll show you.
Yes.
I wasn't offside because the Argentinian defender toe-poked the ball forward. Obviously, I'm not offside, no matter how far I'm standing close to the goal. You watch it. Keeper goes down to try and make a save. I don't know who the defender was. He toe-pokes it, and I get the ball and smash it in from about 35 yards.
Wadey, we're going to get you to go and show all this stuff right now.
I will. Do you mind?
No, we don't mind. People want to see it as well. No problem.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a microphone here as well with you. Once I'll pass it on to you. I've got one here. I'll pass it on to you when you get down there. There you go, wait.
Right. This is what I do for a living. I actually started as a draft. I was playing for Australia and I was a draftsman drawing air conditioning. And I was joking to the boys earlier that I seriously asked the coach or my boss if I could have Thursday and Friday off because we were playing Brazil on Sunday. That's the way it was back in the day. And we just accepted it. We got $300 a win, $200 a draw, and $100 if we lost. We didn't care about the money. We were representing our country. So after a while, you retire. I got a job on the TV interviewing people. It was great. I loved it. But after a while, your TV profile goes further and further down until you hardly get a gig anymore, which is fair enough. So then I thought, what am I going to do with my time? And then I found all these football shirts in the cupboard. And I thought, every one of these shirts has got a story. So this is what I do. I tell these stories to people in jail. I tell these stories to kindergarten kids or prep kids. That is on the internet as one of the world's worst football shirts. All those who agree say aye. What do you mean aye? Nobody was. But the reason I've still got this shirt is because nobody would swap with me, which is really, really embarrassing. Until we played against this team here. We played against Sweden at Olympic Park in Melbourne, and the number 18 swapped with me. So I'm walking off Olympic Park going, this is so cool. I'm going to frame that when I get home. He's walking off going, what the shit? As he got close to the crowd, serious joke, he threw it straight into the crowd. They threw it back at him. They didn't want it either. How bad is that? There are some famous names on this shirt. There's Ange Postecoglou, Robbie Slater, Graham Arnold. There are some big players playing that day. But my question to all of you is, when was the last time you taught yourself something? Interesting question. Or are you quite happy to go through, as all the coaching courses say, got to play out from the back, got to play to your number 6 or your number 8, Whoa! What happened to being creative? And I'm not knocking the situation with coaching. We've got to learn that. But at the same time, don't stop those guys who love nutmegging for the sake of it doing it. It's just a bee in my bonnet that I have. That is a South Melbourne Hellas shirt. We won the league under Puskás in 1991. But the reason I bring this out is because I broke my leg in the lead up to that game. I just went to have a shot against Sydney. I think it was Sydney, Croatia. And I went to smash it. And as I followed through, the defender was waiting with his boot. And I kicked the underside of his boot. So I was out for 6 months, the rest of the season. Now, I tell kids today, initiative. This is what I did. I rang ABC TV after breaking my leg, and I said, you know what? I'm ringing up to ask if I can have a job on the TV because I've just broken my leg, and I don't want to sit there doing nothing. A week later, they rang me back and said, you know what? That's not a bad idea. My story here is about initiative. You can either let something happen or make it happen. And I made my TV career out of making a phone call. So if any of your kids, any of your youth team are feeling sorry for themselves, tell them to get off their backside and do something about it. Don't just sit there, nobody's select. No, you might make a phone call. You might have a meeting with someone. Just do something. That there. We played against AC Milan at Princes Park in Melbourne. Now, before this game, Eddie Thompson was the coach, and he got me in his room and he said, you're an absolute disgrace. I saw you get off the bus like an 80-year-old man. You've been whinging and complaining about the conditions, the weather, the training session. I don't know what's happened to you. You're a disgrace. Anyway, I was totally shocked. He was questioning everything that I stood for. Because I couldn't control a ball, I couldn't play like everybody else, but I could work hard and I could head and I could tackle. And now he's just absolutely smashed me. So I walked out of his room, back to my room, and I'm sitting there and the phone rings. And I picked up the phone. It was the assistant coach, I don't know whether you remember him, Mick Hickman. He was the assistant coach to Tomo. And he said, by the way, Wadey, he is going to smash you at the next training session. Fair chance you might not play against AC Milan. So this is what I said. I said, well, words to this effect. I said, well, you know what? If that's what Tomo wants to do, maybe I am being a little bit arrogant. You know, maybe I should pull my head in. He'd handed the phone to Tomo so that Tomo could hear what I was going to say about him. How streetwise is that? Tomo grew up in Scotland, wanted to know that every one of his players and staff had his back. So just to recap, I get a phone call from Mickey Hickman, you shit, all that sort of stuff. I give an answer of, well, you know what, Tomo's the boss. He was listening to it. That's how streetwise Tomo was. Next training session, I was so focused again. I did not open my mouth. When I spoke to him the next day, he said, Wadey, I want you to remember this. Humility, respect, honesty, and loyalty. That's the culture I want to create. And if you work in your teams, first time you get somebody who stabs someone, all of a sudden now we got 2 teams in our team. And then there's 4. And then there's 6. And all of a sudden as a coach you can't control anybody anymore. Humility, respect, honesty, and loyalty. Boy, did I learn that lesson from that one phone call. Right, I'm going to show you the sacred one. The sacred one.
The sacred jumper or
Yeah.
shirt. Do not let anyone touch it, please.
Yeah. Now, I'll go through the Matildas another time. Saw the Matildas in 2010 winning the Asian Cup. 2023, same shot. Girls going nuts again. I want to flick through to the next session because this is what happened when we played Canada in 2 World Cup qualifiers. Tomo said to me, Wadey, I've changed my mind, you're not playing. And I've gone, no way. I played 88 times for the Socceroos, and now in a World Cup qualifier, you're going to drop me? I went away, I was so mad and so upset that I went to Raul Blanco, who's the assistant coach, and I said, Raul, can you help me out? I am so mad and humiliated. Will you just let me train? Will you take me out for my own session? And I went out for that half-hour session. Best thing I could have ever done, because it got out of my anger. It was all I left it on the field. So I was thinking, all right, suck it up. You've been dropped. Suck it up for the second game. It's in Sydney, because he dropped me again. So I'm sitting on the bench and I'm cursing. I get 20 minutes to go in extra time, because we lost 1-0 in Edmonton and we were winning 1-0 here. So it goes, I go on for 20 minutes and I work my backside off. I touched every blade of grass. I was encouraging everyone because I was still really mad. And it goes to a penalty shootout and Tomo goes, who's taken the first one? Because if you've ever taken a penalty before, you can take it at training. But if there's 45,000 people at the Sydney Football Stadium, a lot of very good players go, oh, nah, not for me, not for me. So that's why he said, who wants to take the first one? And I went, me. And then I thought, shit, you've just put your hand up for a World Cup qualifying penalty, the first one. And it's the first time, I've got a bit of vision here. I scored the penalty and it's going back to the halfway line. I go like that. That was the moment. It wasn't marking Maradona. It was getting my shirt back and taking the first penalty. That's what fires me up about my career. That was the cherry on the top of the cake. The hard work was done getting my shirt back with Raul Blanco, with that training session and stepping up for that penalty. So this in pictures is what happened. Top left-hand corner. Wade out for Cup Clash. This is what it says, if you can't read it. It says, Paul Wade has become the first Australian soccer captain in 20 years to be dropped. That's why I was so mad. It was humiliating. That photograph there, top right, that's the team without me in it. That's the squad that played Canada at the Sydney Football Stadium. And they're the 4 rooms. I'll go through the 4 rooms another time. Well, I haven't got time for it now, but I will. Bottom right-hand corner, guys, anybody who's struggling, a setback is a bruise, not a tattoo. It hurts, it looks ugly, but it will go away. So if you have a setback in your life, don't think of it as a tattoo. It won't be there forever. I think that sets it up in pictures. So here's my story about Mark and Diego Maradona. This is stress. Capability versus expectation. I know what I was capable of, playing for South Melbourne Hellas. What is expected of me? Stop Maradona scoring a goal. And the first thing I think of when I've got to do that job, wow, I just played for Hellas. He's the greatest player ever to play the game. Then I start thinking to myself, if he scores a goal, we're going to lose. I'm going to be blamed. I'll be a failure. And then I can't think straight the night before we played them. And I'm walking around, I'm thinking, wow, I am stressed. Stress is your mind just going, I don't think you can do that. If you can recognize when you are stressed, it makes it so much easier to get through. Because somebody told me that stress is a part of your brain that fires adrenaline into your body. That's why you feel so bad, so nervous. So I was speaking to the first team last night, and I said, if you turn up and you're not nervous, as a coach, I want to know why. Why is your body not jangling for this competition and nervous that you're not going to play well or nervous that you are going to have to win? Why not? That's what stress is. That's why I put good stress there. So, this is what I did. I just couldn't concentrate. Tomo said to me, have a look at his last 2 games. So from his last 2 games, gee, he's only that big. He only uses his left foot. Super strong. But the 4th thing was, he doesn't move very far. Just like Lionel Messi at the World Cup, walked more than anybody else. So I've got these 4 things from this bit of vision now. So instead of me going, geez, I tell you what, Tomo, how am I going to do this job? I just played for Hellas, he's the greatest. I've gone, you know what? See that right there? I was so nervous, but I wasn't crippled by this. Oh, I don't know whether I can do this. And that's the difference with these guys who don't play well. They're either crippled or, hey, don't worry about it. I'll be right. Somebody else will do the job. You've got to have good stress, guys, when you go out there. That's what I told them last night, the first team. This is a big game here tonight. A big game. And I'm hoping that they're very nervous, but they're not scared. So, point here to all you young people, if you're feeling as stressed as I was, get a piece of paper and a pen and write down 3 things. The letter A, activating event. What was it that triggered this stress in your mind? B, what did you believe the danger was? Wow, if I don't stop him, we're going to be losing and I'll be a failure. And C, the consequences. The consequences were, I am freaking out, I am stressed, I can't concentrate. Write it all down on a piece of paper, all you young people, so it's out of your emotional mind and it's on a piece of paper. So then, when you get hold of the paper, you can go, there is no proof that I can't stop Maradona, or for you young people, there is no proof that I can't do this exam. Write it down, get it out of your emotional mind. There are loads of things you could do, but if you put it on a piece of paper, it's amazing how much calmer you become. The other way of dealing with stress, look up. Have you ever tried to be stressed looking up? It's so difficult. I don't know what happens to your brain. Listen to good music. Listen to dad jokes. Here's my best dad joke. Somebody complimented me on my parking the other day. They put a little note on my windscreen. It said, parking, fine. Joe Spiteri is just shaking his head. One of the girls rolled her eyes. That's a great dad joke. Disappoints me about you, Joe, shaking your head like that. I'm concerned that that wasn't a great dad joke. If a teenager or a lady roll their eyes or sarcastically laugh, boom, you've nailed it. You can't lose with dad jokes. So, these are a few of the highlights, me against Maradona. That goal I scored, Harry, you said it was offside. Watch, the defender puts the toe in there that gets me onside. Best goal I ever scored was against Sweden at Olympic Park in Melbourne. The ball came over and I went whack right in the top corner. Oh, there we go. We got through it. That was me after I scored that penalty against Canada. That was my moment. There's Baresi, we played AC Milan. I had to apologise for that one. Ouch. I got that one. Finally. All right, here we go. Have a look. I was onside. What's the defender? You can see it from this side as well. Watch. 72 kilos. Whoa. Not anymore. Watch. Slow motion. Watch. There you go. And here's the best goal I ever scored. As I say, I'll say it again, that was my moment. It wasn't winning any trophies or anything like that. Won it a couple of times, but that was the moment for me where I was, you know what, I'll miss the England shirt. I'll tell you the England story another time. So honestly, with all these kids out here for this game we're going to watch today, it's all about the processes and the sense of progress. The processes, all the training, all the hard work, all the tactics, but that sense of progress that is going to get them there. Because they're going to fail and they're going to lose and they'll quit. No, we're going to be better every time we go out. So they're just a few of the stories that I've got. I will leave you with one dad joke, because I love this one, Harry. My one dad joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Suspense.
Suspense who?
No, wasn't funny. Oh, a girl at the back, she's throwing her hands up and oh, that was all. Boom, great dad joke. You can use that, that's free. That's free. This is going to be a great game tonight, guys. I hope you have a wonderful time. Plenty of noise. There's nothing like playing football with plenty of noise, whether they're booing or they're cheering. Thanks for coming and thanks to the sponsors.
In today's fast-paced business world, reliable logistics is key to success. That's where PC and FS Logistics come in. With a comprehensive range of services including air, sea and domestic transport, as well as secure warehousing, we've got your supply chain covered. From origin destination, our expert team ensures your goods are handled with care and delivered on time, every time. Do you have what it takes to become a soccer superstar? Look no further than Socceroo Academy. Led by experienced coaches, including a former Socceroo, the Academy provides world-class training to help you reach your full potential. From technical skills to tactical awareness, they'll help you develop the skills and mindset needed to succeed at the highest level. Socceroo Academy, where champions are made.
Are you looking for the perfect kit for your football club? Try Arrow Sport today. From jerseys to shorts to socks, Arrow Sport will have you completely covered. We can even cover your merchandising line, including hats, beanies, scarves, jumpers, and so much more. So if you're looking for excellent lead times, great pricing, and even better quality, try Arrow Sport today by looking at our website at arrowsport.com.au. And even better quality, try Arrow Sport today by looking at our website at arrowsport.com.au.
Looking for a haven to unwind and indulge? Look no further than Brista Cafe, nestled in the heart of Derrimut Village Shopping Centre. From decadent homemade gourmet cookies to scrumptious muffins, every bite is a delight. Everyone loves Brista Cafe, and you will too. So why wait? Visit Brista Cafe today and taste the difference for yourself.
Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called ThereIsOnlyOneFootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone.
In today's fast-paced business world, reliable logistics is key to success. That's where PC and FS Logistics come in. With a comprehensive range of services including air, sea and domestic transport, as well as secure warehousing, we've got your supply chain covered. From origin destination, our expert team ensures your goods are handled with care and delivered on time, every time.
Guys, Captain Socceroo, Paul Wade, thank you for joining. And don't forget, very shortly after the show, autographs, photos. Of course, all the kids should be getting photographs of Wadey here and all the people who supported us, the Socceroos over the years to get a photo. It's a very historical evening, Carlos, is that right?
Absolutely. It's so inspirational. Every time I hear you speak, I learn new things about life, and nothing matters really.
So Kenny, how do you feel? You know, so many years of this show, 9 years of football. Still going? Will we keep it going or what?
You're growing. You're growing. You're growing and you're evolving. I mean, people don't realise all this equipment that you purchase and you put together and you create.
Much closer, Ken.
Probably
That's
easier,
better
mate.
off.
You're probably right. I'll do a Frank Sinatra. Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Rod Stewart. Yeah. Look, you know, you deserve a lot of success, Harry, because you put so much time and effort into this, and you know, I always say that to you. I say, you know, you deserve good people in sport deserve success, and you're certainly one of them. So, you know, hopefully the show grows, and hopefully Aurora pick it up, and they expand on it, and you do get a live show. It'd be fantastic. It'd be great. But mate, your efforts are amazing, and like what you do. I mean, I'm just looking at all your new equipment that you were showing me earlier on. It's all self-funded, and that's an amazing aspect.
Sponsors have helped a little bit
Yeah,
too.
of course. Yeah, of course, your sponsors helping. But the fact is, you've got to go out and do that. You're relevantly a one-man band, and it's a great effort. So, yeah, kudos to you, mate. And
Thank you.
that's, I mean, I wouldn't do this for anyone else fly down to Melbourne other than you. You know that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You know, I hold you in extremely high regard. You know that.
And Carlos, of course, you've been on for a while too now.
Yes, absolutely. But it's always been a pleasure to share my football passion with Harry, Kenny, and the other guests. But once again, I want to thank Brunswick City Club. You have put in a great night for us. The ladies behind the kitchen and the chefs that are working really hard. And thank you for having us. And I hope this is one of many broadcasts that we do at a community level. But the great food, I just can't wait to eat. It looks amazing. But thank you, ladies. Thank you to the executive. Thank you to the committee for putting on a great night for us.
Louis, can we call Mr. Louis Castanos and Peter up at the same time? Please come and talk to us here. to thank them. They can sit over there. It's fine. There's one over there. President, the Vice President, please give man. Thank you. Over here. Yeah. And of course, you can all sit down there. Both of you, if you can sit there. Without Louis and Peter's help, I could not do this, guys. And without their support to do what we do, and this is the second time we've done it the last 2 years. Hopefully, we can continue, Louis. Continue this again next year and make it even bigger. And it's actually going to Aurora in a few weeks' time, so it'll be amazing for people to see it on Foxtel.
No, Harry, we're happy having you here. We're happy having you here, Harry. Yeah, it's great. Great crowd tonight too. People love it. Wadey around, the boys, part of the panel. I mean, I've been watching your show for a while now and been on it as well, been fortunate. So we're really grateful for the promoting you've been doing for the club, for football in general. Thank you to the FV, Dan and Rosie attending, and everybody else, Joe Spiteri. I mean, we've got some serious football minds here.
Well, yes, and George,
former players,
and George Katsakis.
Yep, and Chris Calafatidis is out there as well. So there's a few boys floating around.
Kenny Taylor.
Yep. So we're really grateful. And Harry, thank you very, very much. As a club, we really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for letting us do it here, and hopefully next year we can bring maybe Wadey again with maybe another Socceroo as well, of course. More dad jokes, I get you. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight on Footballers. Hopefully next week we'll have another show on our live as well. And don't forget, if you're on Foxtel, it's going to be on the Aurora TV, hopefully in a week's time. I'll have information for you. Thank you guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you. Thank you.